Well, time to be counterproductive. Hello again, fellow YouTubers, Solomon Pleasant, and today we have Maiden of the Venus Trap Reverse. I like to say Venus Flytrap. So what? This also does not have a cross ride, but it does have the nifty skill of, hey, I'm a lord, and hey, Counterblast 1, I get plus 2,000 power. That's funny, Bushy Road. You're trying to cover that up. Good job. It also has the act ability on Vanguard of Limit Break 4. Choose Counterblast 1 and choose one of your Neo-Nectar rear guards and lock it. And look at the top 5 cards of your deck and choose up to one Neo-Nectar among them, call to rear guard, shuffle your deck, that unit gets plus 5,000 power till the end of the turn. Okay. My initial thought when I first saw this unit's ability was, oh my god, this is the worst reverse unit ever. I have then thus done some deck testing with it, comboed it with a break ride, and pretty much made a full maiden deck, and now my initial thoughts are just a little different. A maiden deck works. The problem is this only really works with support from other units, whereas some of the other reverses that I mentioned on this list don't necessarily need support from units. They can do it all by themselves. Amon's a pretty good example because, hey, as long as I have some soul and a rear guard, I can kill you. This, hey, I need a break ride. Hey, I also need some rear guards. When I deck test with this, I almost never use the actual initial skill of Counterblast 1 and call a unit with plus 5. Because one, half the time when I drew the top 5, it'd be like cards I can't really call to specific rear guard because they're not the cards I need. They're usually like triggers or something. I'm just like, well, can't really use this. I ended up getting really sucky hands. Another thing. This Counterblast will run out real fast. And honestly, when you put this in a deck, you have to really use the break ride, and that pretty much takes up most of your Counterblast. And I saw a video where Warlock looked at this and he said this was a good card and was better than some of the other ones. And I'm like, no. No, it's not. It looks fantastic. It's a really great artwork. But it does not bring anything to the table. It doesn't. All it does is call a unit and give it plus 5. You know who can do that better? Hiyaki Vogue can do that better. Hey, Counterblast 2. You get plus 10 when I lock 2 units without any counterblast. And then you go to my hand at the end of the turn. Hiyaki Vogue can do that better, for God's sake. And that's Murakumo. I mean, it's not a good reverse unit. It works well in decks, but only as a break ride source. I almost never use the skill, and when I did, I would end up losing the match. Like, it doesn't necessarily, it gives you, what this does is, it kind of is just like, hey, I can give you, this is pretty much Luki A, except where in Luki A, I can choose what I want from the soul. It's Luki A, except with more of a chance. And if Warlock can just watch this, you said Luki A wasn't that good. At least Luki A gives me a consistent, I can choose what I want from the soul. Which means, most likely, I'm going to get something I want out of the soul. This, you're taking a risk with the top 5 cards. So what if you get nothing but triggers, grade 2s, or cards that you can't call? Like, let's say you have a full field, except for one spot where you need a booster. Oh, I got grade 3s, or I got grade 2s, or something of that nature. Guess who just wasted a counterblast and now has to call something useless there? Yeah, it gets plus 5, but so what? Whereas, this is pretty much Luki A, except weaker. Because at least Luki A is also a cross ride. What's this? Not a cross ride. So it doesn't have any defense either. And it really bugs me that Bushy Road made another Muse after this one and didn't in any way try to figure out a way to connect them. It's just like, nope, this thing can just get plus 2 from a counterblast. Again, I like this card's artwork, but it's not that good. It's really not. In a Neo-Nectar build, if you want to run the break ride, run Arboros. Arboros owns that break ride. This only benefits from the cards around it. Arboros, or anything else in Neo-Nectar, can work with can work with it and actually gain initial power. This gains nothing from using its skill. It really doesn't gain much. And it's also random chance. There's a lot wrong with the card. There really is. And I really don't understand people who say this is an amazing card. It's not. It's definitely low on the list. It is. So, that's all I got for this one. This has been Solomon Pleasant, and next time we look at Maelstrom. This has been Solomon Pleasant signing off.